3, 2, 1, and we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. This is Angela, and I have got questions for you. Y'all, did you see part 3 of the reunion of the Real Housewives of Atlanta? What opens with Nene talking about you're a hater and you're jealous, and what closes with Kim feeling that she doesn't have a racist bone in her body and racism is over, and then the internet brought it back. If you guess the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion part 3 season 10, you're correct. Oh my gosh. I'm Angela. The channel is Be Fabulous You. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Whew. Okay, so season 10 is over. It's done. It's a wrap. We done seen the season, which, you know, was not the juiciest season. I don't think it was necessarily dry, but it wasn't the juiciest season. And we done seen the reunion. Now, I think that this might be the juiciest reunion I've ever seen. It was 3 parts, and I feel like every part had some meat and some heft. So let's just jump in. Hey, have a good night. You going to bed? I need to go to bed. Thank you for the like. Let's just jump in, and we're going to try to, it was so much going on, it's hard to kind of capture all of the goings on, so jump in if I miss something. Okay, so we're picking up exactly basically where we left off the last episode, and we loop back a little bit. You know, Nene is like, you know, you're a hater, to Croy's wife, you're jealous, and Croy's wife is like, it was a joke, you know. It was a joke that she parked in handicap. I thought it was funny, and Nene is like, "You the one that need a handicap." Yes, early class in the morning. Good night. You're the one that need a handicap sticker. I mean, you done had every disease in the game. Where's your scooter? Where is your scooter? Where's your scooter? Now that Nene show has a way with, I don't know if it's language or expression or energy, because like if someone were to just walk up and be like, where's your scooter? I don't know if it would be like funny, but it's like something about like Nene being like, the door is closed. The door is closed. That's funny. So I don't know, but where's your scooter? It was kind of funny. And we've been seeing it all over the place because it's like, where is your scooter? So, Sheree in Prison Bay, there's a little bit of conversation about that. We see the replay of Callie talking about, you know, you could have got anybody and why you get jailbait. And, you know, when she said it the first time, I was kind of like, huh? And it's like, it's jailbird, not jailbait. But anyway. So, you know, we got that going. You know, Andy asked Sheree if she's engaged, and Sheree is like, oh yeah, you know, I'm engaged, and you know, when he gets out, we're gonna get engaged. So, no. And it's kind of like, okay, Sheree, like, I don't know. So, yes, no, June, September, spring, summer, fall, winter, May, June, July, February, March. I don't know. Okay. So, and then Andy is like, so when is he getting out? And Sheree is like, you know, 10 years, but you know, when you have 10, you do 8. And then, so, you know, it's 2 years. Yeah. Yeah. And some people, you know, they get with married men, and it's kind of like, I don't understand. And now, I personally, when Andy said, what's up with She by Sheree, although I don't know why the child even answered the question or why she ain't come up with nothing all the years since She by Sheree came out, every time the child go on Watch What Happened Live, Andy asked her about She by Sheree, and everybody in the audience laughs because we know there's nothing to it. Are you wearing She by Sheree? We know she not wearing She by Sheree. We know she not working on it. And she didn't have to really answer that question. She should have had somebody write her a clever cute. But anyway, when she said joggers, I understood that. I'm like, okay, so she's going in the direction of joggers. I know other people didn't understand, but I understood that. But sometimes it is very difficult to understand, you know, kind of where she's going. It's like a leap. I don't know. So, Nene is like, you know, oh, so then there's some conversation with Nene and Croy's wife, and Nene I think she busted her out about, what about you dancing at Oasis for 10 years dressed up as a nurse? And Andy is like, and, you dealt with several married men. So, so what? You're saying that when I met my husband, he was married. He was not married when I met him. That's absolutely untrue. But even if he was married, we have been married for 20 years strong. So, bye, So, I don't know. I don't know. I've never been to the Oasis. Don't know where it is. Is that true, T? Do I care? Not really. So let's move on. So we see there's conversation about Nene and Sheree and Tyrone stuff. I guess that, Nene had said someplace on Twitter that she sucked Tyrone's peen. And Nene says it was... she says it was basically like tongue-in-cheek, like, she didn't mean it. Not like peen-in-cheek, but like tongue-in-cheek. She was just kind of like talking stuff. And Cherie says that she does not believe that Nene and Tyrone had a relationship, even, at the level of peen sucking. And Andy says that he did speak with Tyrone. And Nene is like, so what? I don't care, basically. Like, okay, good. Tyrone advanced, or they had footage of him saying that Nene stalked him, that she was an aggressive stalker. And Nene is like, oh yeah, of course I stalked him. I pursued him and I wanted him, because that's what I do. I stalk mofos, mother effers. I want them. It was kind of funny because she really doesn't come across as that kind of woman, but I don't know, and I doubt that she did. I don't know. It just, she's like, yeah, everybody wants Tyrone. Does anybody want Tyrone? I don't know. It's probably plenty of people that want Tyrone. Tyrone might be a nice person. Hey, Bonafide 1970. Thank you for the flower. So, then there's something with Croy's wife and Kenya, like a whole conversation about that. And Andy is like, well, what's really the issue? Because, at Sheree's party, Kim came in so aggressive. So this is what I heard. And, it kind of comes up sort of in the show. I think I think that I heard this from, straight from the A, who has a YouTube channel, Michelle ATLian Brown, I think it is. But I think what I heard her say is that Croy's wife had a 7-year contract. At one reunion or at something, she called the women, she said something about NIGGERS. All of the women, the black women, are like, we're not filming with her, we're not dealing with her. And so she could not be on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And so instead of them just paying her out and not getting anything from it, Bravo decided to do her show. And I think they did her wedding special, and then they did the show with her. Since nobody would film with her on Real Housewives of Atlanta, they gave her the show because they didn't want to just be giving her blank money or money. And so I'm thinking that, this is right around the time when that 7-year contract is expiring. So she's aggressively coming back, trying to get that peach in that situation on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, she's trying to get an income coming into the house, and like a good, they get a little fluffy income considering what they do. Although some people are like, considering what they do, how much money could somebody pay you for your whole life to be on blast like that, and potentially on blast, and you selling yourself out for, you're doing some strange for a little change. But to some people they might be like, shoot, $300,000, I filmed for this amount of time, I have an opportunity to advance my platform, like, whatever it is that I'm doing, it's good. It's like I'm getting paid to do a commercial for me and my products. So I was trying to figure out, why is Kenya getting up? But Kenya moves couches because she's like, I can't hear through the wig, because she's arguing with Croy's wife. So she moves from one couch to the other couch. And instead of being like, she's not in the hot seat, she's not in the seat next to Andy, but she's next to Nene. So it's like a more prominent seat instead of where she is at the edge of the couch. Like, I guess at some point in the show, I realized, oh, it's real estate. She's trying to get into more valuable real estate because she's trying to maintain her position on the show. She's making a power move. She's trying to make money moves. Kenya is. That's what I think. Okay. So, Kenya is like, this whole thing. Why would you want to be on would you ever? Oh, heck no. Oh, no. So then there's a conversation about Kenya and Sheree in terms of where, but I think people are really interesting. And even though things are edited and this on the camera and people are performing for the camera, I think you still see, people's spirit and energy and vibration. I think it's fascinating. So Sheree, Kenya is kind of getting in Sheree for being like, dang, you said you were happy for me getting married, having, getting pregnant possibly. And then I see you on camera talking about my 48-year-old eggs. And Sheree is like, well, your eggs are 48, aren't they? And Kenya is like, no. And Sheree is like, well, like she's very aggressive and very defensive. Like she wants to defend that position. And she's like, why would you allow her to do that, Sheree? Like, I think there's some conversation about, again, sort of this idea of Sheree just allowing Kim to do whatever unchecked. Like, not that Sheree is some person who can, that any other person can power roll another person. But you could be like, well, Croy's wife, I don't think that's correct. Croy's wife, that's not accurate. Or let some of the other women on the cast know what Croy's wife is going around saying about them. But Sheree is not doing that. So they're all getting together and kind of checking her on that. So Croy's wife is like, I don't have my own show for no reason. Cashmere sold $15 million in its first year. And, it's kind of like the numbers and her stuff just sound weird. Has anybody heard of Cashmere? Does anybody buy it? I mean, I don't know. It seems like that would have been big news. I don't know. She just seemed like such a liar. She just seemed like she opened her mouth and just lied. So it just seemed funny to me. And Nene is like, well, how did you get your own show? And they really don't go into it, and Kim is like, well, why don't you tell me? And Nene is like, no, I'm asking you, how did you get your own show? So, I don't know, but it kind of lent credence to what ATLian said to me. Why don't you, why and if you don't parent your husband, your daughter, you're not parenting your daughter, people are going to parent your daughter. People are going to check your daughter. If you won't check your daughter, we're going to check your daughter. She out here acting grown, then you want to act like she's a child, but you're not checking her. And then Croy's wife is like, my daughter is richer than you. And it's kind of like the value system is so weird. Like, I don't think that the child is richer than anybody. I really don't know anything about her or her income stream. I don't know. But even if she is, and like, so what? Who cares? So anyway, the whole thing is weird. And then they roll footage of Chrissy Teigen and John Legend, because I guess the Kim is like, me and Chrissy are friends. And when I said that, Brielle was going to suck somebody's peen for tickets to the John Legend concert and blah, 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 blah. That was just a joke and my friends knew it. And then they have John Legend saying, if I ever wound up on a reality show, the sponsors wouldn't like me at all. I would be zero drama, just focused on networking and collaborating to do positive things for the community. Right. I think when they cast people, they're looking for people with a certain orientation and people sort of willing to, bring the drama, bring the mess, bring the, and I think there's like, I think that there is room for, I probably get booted off within the first week. Right. Right. I think there actually is room in a market for, positive, productive, for a different type of show. But, I think that, it's like music. Like, I think there's a market for certain types of music, but certain types of music gets promoted and hyped up and encouraged because I think of the system that we're in and the image. I just think it's like in alignment with certain things. So Candy is like, it was disrespectful of you to say that Nene has a drug problem. And I told you that myself when I sat down with you, Croy's wife. And then Croy's wife is like, well, you said I had a drinking problem. And then Candy is like, I repeated what you said. You said that you needed a driver because you're always drinking and you can't drive yourself. And then Portia and Sheree are like, well, I mean, that's like saying she has a drinking problem. She just said she likes to drink or some bull. Sheree to the highest degree and Portia to another degree, they look, straight foolish with their loyalty, defense, connection. It was like, it was hard as a viewer to understand why they were saying the things that they were saying in terms of Kim. Portia less so, but Sheree just looks straight foolish to me. And then Kandi and Nene are saying that they wanted to start fresh with Kim and that they tried to start fresh with Kim, but that Kim was on one, and she came in like at 100, like going after people, attacking everybody, just being like really... Yeah. And Croy's wife is like, oh, it's me. It's all me. It's just only me. Oh, it's only me. Oh, it's only me. And then Kandi and Nene are like, yeah, it was you, girl. It's you. Like, can't you see it? And she does not see it. And Kandi is like, never, ever would I try coming on to Croy's wife. Because, they're rolling the footage of, her saying that Kandi tried to eat her box or propositioned her or whatever. And Kandi is like, no, absolutely not. Not even, And I'm really kind of upset that Sheree wouldn't even tell me that she was saying that when Sheree knew that she was out there saying it. And, Sheree is basically like, well, whatever. And, Kandi is like, and the thing about it is that, DJ Tracy was, just to clarify, Kandi is like, DJ Tracy was licking your box while your kids were in the living room. That's what, is really kind of weird, that you trying to go in on me and, about what I've done. And, what about what you've done? I've never disrespected Kandi don't even come across as, I feel like it's one thing to be grown and to, handle your adult business the way that you want to handle your adult business. But Kandi doesn't really come across as sloppy or messy. She does not so I just can't imagine her. I feel like she would handle her adult business in an adult way. I don't think that she would, and I could see Kim comes across as sloppy and messy. So I could see her having her children in the living room while she's having sex with whoever, man, woman, just right there where the kids know, it's just like, it just seems sloppy and messy. Oh, well, there's always a role for the peacemaker, or a potential role for the peacemaker, but it's kind of a difficult role to get in and to maintain. Cynthia is sort of kind of the peacemaker and sort of kind of, more or less drama free. She doesn't really seem to have very much, she has some low drama with other people, but no high drama. And, she's really, for the most part, she hasn't really gone in on anyone or been mean and nasty that I can think of. Then Andy is like, he's trying hard to help Kim, and Kim is like trying help me, Andy. And Andy's like, I'm trying to help you, girl. And, because Kim just keeps lying and then saying, I didn't say that when they wrote, it's just the whole thing is really, really weird. And then they kind of try to explain, Kandi and other people try to explain to the white woman why, saying that a black woman has roaches in her house could be considered racially offensive and sort of like a racial jab. And she fakes like she doesn't understand and she doesn't get it. And then Croy's wife, she's like, I didn't show the video of the roaches. And then Sheree is like, I don't remember. And then production rolls the footage. So it's that's kind of the theme the whole night. Kim is like, I didn't do it. And Sheree is like, duh. And then production rolls the footage showing Croy's wife doing it. Croy's wife is like, I'm leaving. And Nene is like, go, bye. Go on. You got to get back to tardy for the party, which again sort of reinforces to me the idea that show is about to be canceled and Nene knows it and she's jabbing at her. And then at some point, Portia had said to Sheree, something like, well, it's your moment, Sheree. Enjoy your moment. But it seemed really shady and mean. She knew also that Sheree was about to be gone, Okay, so we talked about the power move, and then Andy asked the women, would you have any regrets? And Kenya's like, I'm really sad about how I behaved in Texas. And then Sheree is like, well, I have information and I'll spill the tea. I want to spill the tea or something. I didn't really know what she was talking about. Then Candy is like, I wish that I had known what Kim had said before I had my sit down with her, because I would have got her straight at the sit down. And Andy is like, well, I think you got her straight here. And Candy is like, you think? And it's kind of like, yeah, I think you did pretty good. She always holds her own. And then Portia's like, she learned to be humble. And they like, but you got a crown on. She like, you can be humble and wear a crown too. And then Nene is like, she learned how to handle a heckler. And then Andy is giving them roses. And it seems like the show is over. And then one of the producers or some white woman, whenever we get on shows like this, is an opportunity to show our intelligence and our ability to settle issues with diplomacy, despite how we need some. So then one of the producers, or I think it's a producer, it's a white woman, she comes out and she's like, I need Andy and a camera. And then they go into the bathroom and Kim is in there. She's like, there was nothing positive. Nobody said anything positive to me. No other white woman would be stupid enough to sit on the couch with these women. Nobody would be dumb enough or whatever. And then Sheree comes in and, Corey's wife is like, Sheree, why didn't you stand up for me? I mean, Portia stood up for me, but you didn't stand up for me. And Sheree is like, well, the tides have turned. And I think when they asked Sheree what she had learned, she's like, that the tides had turned or some foolishness. I don't even know what she said. And then why did you let that happen? This is Croy's wife saying that to Andy. And Andy is like, well, I mean, she's like, you didn't say one positive thing about me. And he's like, well, you really didn't give us a lot to work with. You came in kind of aggressively and negative, and we didn't really have anything to work with. And then it was South African American. Oh, and then she's like, it was 5 African American women attacking me. And, I don't have a racist bone in my body. And Nene knows that. And racism doesn't exist because the internet brought it back. It was some weird stuff she was saying, and her husband was sitting there. I'm over tardy for the party. Hey, so you've watched it before? So are there so does she have Sheree on it? What kind of is it? Yeah. So I really, Croy is standing there looking a certain way. I don't know if he's looking like she's crazy or if he's looking like Honey all white, or if he's looking like Honey, don't talk about, racism stuff in public. We only talk about that in private. But the whole thing, it was just kind of like Sheree looked straight foolish. Croy's wife, we already knew she was, a piece of racist boo-boo, and she looked like the racist boo-boo piece of boo-boo that she is. If I never see, and I don't have to, Portia, none of them do I have to see again. But I think I like Candy and I like Cynthia. And I guess I root for Kenya because she's from Detroit. And she has her moments, but I don't know if it's colored because she's from Detroit. But that's it. That's all I got for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. If I missed anything important, because I know it was a lot going on, Crafty Kenya. I know it was a lot going on, but, if I missed anything, drop it in the comments. I'm about to do Real Housewives of Potomac. I got to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning, but I know it's going to be a crazy day tomorrow. So if I don't do this now, if not now, when? So that's what I got. Thank you for tuning in. Gemini X, welcome. Spencer Whitelow and Bonafide 1970 with flowers and moderation. So like, share, comment. The Real World from the 90s. Sort of, kind of, but it's a little different. See, the Real World model to me, it was like really, really young people, and you kind of get them in that house together. So it's like that sex, the sexual tension and alcohol and like stuff like that happens. Now, these women, I think, are a little too, I think they're old in a certain way, but not mature in other ways. So I guess their immaturity kind of allows a room for, you know, them to be like, you know, messy and foolish. And I think, you know, just regular relationships, there's already drama built into that. So some of the stuff I think kind of like, I think it like has gone to like the next level in terms of drama, when I don't know if all of that was necessary or not necessary for me, because I think just relationships are interesting. But anyway, that's what I got. Today is the best day ever, and you are the greatest. So be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous, you. Peace. And I do have to catch up on your husband is cheating on us. All right. See you in a minute. Peace. Much love.